Hello everybody, thanks for joining us again for another video. We are now back in Tanzania after spending several months in North America, in the US and Canada, and we're grateful to be back, although with some mixed feelings because we do miss home, as it were. There's so many things that are available to us there, not to mention friends and family who we miss quite a bit. But on top of that, nice roads, a variety of food. We enjoyed hiking and backpacking, and yeah, it's just, in some ways it's hard to come back, but we're also really happy to be moving forward with our project here, and we have some things to share with you about that. So, karibu.
Our cat is at our feet. He's alive!
Our cat is alive. We're excited about that.
Our guards took good care of him while we were gone. He was very skinny, but I'm fattening him up fast. Back to what we were doing when we first got back to Tanzania. We spent our first five-ish weeks in Morogoro, where our teammates are located, and they were helping us run this translation training workshop. And 5 people who are potential Nyamwezi translators came from the Tabora region to Morogoro. And in the mornings, we were doing translation principles training for them. And in the afternoons, James and I were running a grammar analysis workshop from the material that we collected in our dictionary workshop.
During the mornings, we had our translation training for the 5 Nyamwezi people, and that was primarily led by our missionary teammates who have been doing this longer than we have and have led trainings before, and so we're really grateful to have their help. They will show you some clips here of some of the training.
Labda yeye ni Mkristo au ni Kristo mwenyewe. Ukisema mwana wa Daudi na unaongea na Myahudi yeyote atajua.
Hiyo ni kitu kinachofanana na kusudio.
Ni wazo zuri sana. So kuhusu dhabihu au labda hata ukisema kitu kama tambiko. So sisi tunajua tambiko ni nini?
Hawakumbuki mambo ambayo hawaelewi. Kama uelewi, unaweka pembeni tu na kutafakari. Kama hawajaelewa vizuri, hawataweza kujibu, kwa sababu tayari wameshasahau.
Na kwa sababu nyinyi ni mnayo elimu ya Biblia tayari, mnaweza kujua ni hivyo, okay? Mwingine wasiojua Biblia labda watafikiri hawajamtambua au hatujui mpaka tutakapoenda mjini na kuuliza je tu. Tunashangaa kumwona Naomi kwa sababu hatuja mtarajia, na pia labda walishangaa kwa sababu alirudi bila mume wake, bila watoto wake.
Hii ni kawaida. Hii ni kitu kingine. Kama hiki. Kama hiki. Bado sijui kama lazima kufanya hivi katika Kinyamwezi. Labda Kinyamwezi kimeshaandikwa au labda tuna uhuru kufanya hivi kama ni rahisi zaidi kusoma. Kuna nini? Nasema kunse nilainishe i. But they did some education and put them through some exercises, explained about the 4 qualities of a good translation, and that is number 1, accuracy, Number 2, clarity. Is it understandable? Number 3, is it natural? Is it used in natural language, or they feel like, oh, nobody speaks this way? And number 4, is it acceptable? Meaning, if we make translation choices that the local church just thinks, yeah, why would, and that's just crazy, and we're not going to read this, then it's kind of all for naught. So, educating, because normally when people start translating, they think, oh, we'll just translate word for word, and translate really literally, word for word, and it ends up being stilted and not understandable, really.
Or the wrong meaning.
Or even conveys the wrong meaning, because word for word in Hebrew, the word for word translation in Nyamwezi could actually mean something different. And so we want to translate from the meaning the original author intended to convey the same meaning to the Nyamwezi hearers and readers. So yeah, it was a great training time.
Yeah, we really enjoyed sitting in on it and dreaming about our future. Our teammate Michael did some exegesis with them, took them through what it looks like when we're going to be sitting down with them and going through what they've rough drafted. And it was so exciting for us because we loved it and everything was so interesting.
And then in the afternoons, Jenica and I led the grammar workshop, where we were discovering a lot about the sounds of Nyamwezi, the letters that possibly could be used in their alphabet, and how the words are put together in various ways to form sentences. It was really interesting. We learned some very cool things about the language.
Yeah, it was very hard coming back. I just want to say a quick thing about my Swahili. It was very, very hard and challenging and humbling to get back into it, to get back here and have not used Swahili very much, if at all, and come back and have to lead that. But I'm really grateful. James' Swahili is a lot better than mine, and we worked together and we got it done. And it is nice that Nyamwezi is a Bantu language, and so there's things that carry over from Swahili to help us understand how it works.
Definitely. I think some of the most challenging things about the grammar workshop was communicating to them about how we think about language. Like, what is a noun and a verb and an adjective and an adverb? What does it mean to have word order in a sentence? I mean, these are things that would be challenging for a lot of Americans, but here in Tanzania, they don't really learn about their own language at all. And plus, our Swahili, like Jenica said, is limited, so we're coming up with creative ways to say, here's what a verb is, you know.
Yeah, or this is what tense is, and that's very hard to explain even
past tense, future tense,
in English.
Past continuative.
Yeah.
But I think we worked it out really well, and they started to get the hang of it. And luckily, the point wasn't to teach them linguistics. It was to elicit their language so that we could then take it and do linguistic analysis on it.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there again. You want to be up here or not? We felt like it went really well, so we're very thankful for that. All 5 of the Nyamwezi people were great. We just feel like they had a good sense of their language, and they caught on well during the translation training, and we feel like any of them could be a good choice for being translator for our project.
And I guess that's a good problem to have, but
we're ideally probably going to narrow it down to 3 to be full-time translators. But we've been actually brainstorming ways that maybe how could we involve more.
Yeah.
So be in prayer for us for wisdom about who to choose, and if we want to do something a little bit atypical to include more people, that'd be great too.
Go away. You're not affectionate until the camera's out, huh?
And now we are back in Tabora, back at our old house. We're in a bit of limbo here, where our car, praise be to God, has arrived in port in Dar es Salaam, and so we have an importer working on to get that out of port. You know, there's a process to go through. We applied for that tax exemption, as we told you before, and unfortunately we didn't get the full tax exemption. We got about half of it. So, but it went really quickly. So there's good and bad.
I'll take it to the porch.
So if you could be in prayer for us about our finances now that we didn't get the full tax exemption that we were planning. We always were prepared for this. We knew that was a possibility, so we didn't want to be bankrupt or anything like that. So we're okay, but so there's it dipped into our savings that we're maybe saving to build a house in Sikonge, and so just be in prayer for us. And if God puts it on your heart to contribute towards this one-time gift, we would certainly welcome that as well. And Penny's back on the porch and won't be bothering us.
So we were all ready and excited to choose our translators and maybe start in January whenever we get our vehicle and can move to Sikonge, the smaller town where we feel like it's better to base our project. But there's a few roadblocks that we have ahead again.
As we already mentioned, the car is coming. It's in port. But one of the reasons why we've been delayed a little bit is because we need to apply for a grant to pay for the project and the translator's salaries from an organization called the Seed Company. And they've been funding PBT's projects here in Tanzania and around the world for quite some time, and we're really grateful for them, because without them we couldn't do this. But we need to apply for that, and that takes some time. Before we can do that, we need to work out our relationship with the Bible Society of Tanzania, and this is a long time coming, and our director here in Tanzania is in communication with them, and there's a lot more that goes into that, but we'll keep it this brief.
So to summarize our prayer requests, please be continuing to pray for our vehicle, that it would clear customs and get to us for Christmas as a giant Christmas present. And also for our relationship with the Bible Society of Tanzania, that negotiation will go well. And also for our application with the Seed Company to get funding, which could be happening in the early part of next year. And also for when all those things get resolved, that we'll have wisdom in choosing our translation team, and that we'll have extreme patience and discipline in the meantime. We were really excited to get back here and get going, but things take time.
When we arrived here in Tabora, I think we've been fighting some discouragement and depression, partly because of the delay in the project, but also because leaving everything that we love and everyone that we love in America again, and then leaving our close friends in Morogoro and being more on our own here in Tabora was, again, a little bit of a shock. And so
yeah, I don't think we really felt culture shock in Morogoro. We were back and there was so many exciting things happening with our project, with the training, and we had our dear friends around us. So it almost didn't feel like we were in Tanzania. And then we got back to Tabora and we're like, oh yeah, we are in Tanzania. Culture shock hit when, we went to the market and we're cleaning all the dust in our house. We're really grateful though that our house was in good shape, our cat was alive, and we do have so many blessings to be thankful for.
we love our guards, and we're glad to see them again.
Yeah.
And they were glad to see us.
That we came back.
Yep. But we are feeling motivated and thankful for that. Both, as Jenica mentioned, seeing how our Swahili is still lacking, and so we can take this opportunity, as we've been doing the last week or so, just making more of a push in that and in learning our Nyamwezi, and also spiritually, I
Yeah.
feel like we're in a better place, turning to God and spending time with Him, seeking Him, not only in the midst of these challenges, but also because we just really want to know Him, and so we're thankful for a rekindled desire for that relationship.
Yeah, we really can't do this without him, and it's not so much about just serving him, but knowing him. I've really been convicted of that.
And we're thankful for all of you and how you've encouraged us and supported us here. And so we pray blessings for you, and please be in touch with us. We love it.
Yeah.
And we'll make every effort to be in touch with you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. That was excellent.
Yes,